Welcome to the Grizzled Geek and Review for April 19th, 2019. I'm Mike.
I'm Doug.
And we're here with your weekly wrap-up of nerd news. And for once, this week, Endgame is not the number one story because there was too much good news that came out of Star Wars Celebration last week.
Yeah.
Now, we reported on it, and it was just the first day of the celebration when we reported last week.
Yeah, a lot's come out since then.
Oh, my goodness. So not only did we get the Episode 9 trailer.
Correct.
We got the title, Rise of Skywalker. We did a little review of the trailer ourselves. Yeah, check that out. That'll be right there in the upper corner. All right. So what do we know about, what do we find out at the celebration about, we're going to break everything down.
Sure.
The stuff we care about. There's a bunch of other stuff too. But
yeah.
At episode 9, we found out that in fact, that laugh, it is Emperor Palpatine.
Yeah.
In fact, Ian McDiarmid showed up on the...
Yeah, he came out on stage right after that.
Right after that, yeah. He's in the movie, whether it's a Force Ghost, whatever he is.
Yeah, or maybe just voices.
Or, yeah.
Who knows? We don't know exactly what his role is, but he's in it.
He's in it. We find out Lando's back.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that was a fan favorite moment, him flying a Millennium Falcon with Chewie.
Yep.
Yes, here we found out that 5 years have passed since the last movie. So
that's something they said at the panel?
That's something they said at the panel. So right at, same thing with, between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, that was a 5-year jump. Mm-hmm. We're doing another 5-year jump because Jedi happened right after Force Awakens.
Sure, yeah, immediately.
Immediately after. And then this one is going to take another 5-year jump.
Okay.
We found out that there's going to return of classic ships like the Corellian Corvette. And in fact, the Corellian Corvette they showed looked like it was Tantive 5, which is Princess Leia's ship. The very first ship you see in any of these movies is a shot of the Tantive 5.
Interesting.
So whether
they're
that's
going with a super old ship.
Yeah, they're super old. Yeah, super old ship, and also a Nebulon B frigate, and that's like the big long one with the other ships dock on.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I can try to describe it.
The medical frigate.
The medical frigate.
The long corridor between the engines and the rest of the ship. Yeah.
So even with all the new ships, we're getting some old favorites back as well.
That's cool.
So we've also revealed that Captain Phasma is in fact dead, and she's not coming back for the last one.
Waste of a character.
I know.
That poor Gwendolyn Christie. That was...
It was so anticlimactic, her death in the last movie, that you're just like, oh.
Yeah, it's like, I don't even care.
Yeah.
They just mishandled her, totally.
Yeah, I agree. And we've confirmed that Chewie will have a bigger role in this movie. So he's going to get his due finally. Yeah, I mean, everything looks amazing. Episode 9, like I said, I'm...
Yeah, cautiously optimistic.
Yeah, exactly. Star Wars has done me wrong in the past, so I'm going to...
Here's the thing is, I think it will be a good movie.
Mm-hmm.
Now, whether or not it will bring a satisfying end to not only this trilogy, but the Skywalker saga in general.
Yeah.
We'll see if that might be a tall order for one movie to handle after what's happened so far.
Right, exactly. And one of the comments from our buddy Darren, who from here in Pearl Outpost, said that he's speculating the title Rise of Skywalker could be what they name whatever the new Jedi Order thing is.
Yeah, I've heard that around, and I've heard, mostly negative responses to that. They don't want the Jedi renamed Skywalker.
The Skywalkers.
Yeah. Well, and it doesn't even say and it doesn't say Skywalkers. It's just Rise of Skywalker. So if it's an organization, put the or plural or something.
Or something like that.
I don't know.
I don't know. We'll see. Like I said, cautiously optimistic. Everything we've seen so far looks good.
Yeah.
The other big draw for the weekend was the reveal of Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Mandalorian, the footage, the sizzle reel, both those have leaked online. So if you have a chance and they haven't been taken down, so.
All right.
We got our first look at Pedro Pascal as Mando. I guess that's what he's going by. He was referred to that in the panel several times. Okay. He's like the claims with a man with no name. He's just known as the Mandalorian, so his friends call him Mando.
Got it. Okay.
So Gina Carano as Cara Dune, who is an ex-rebel shock trooper.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
And so she's like a heavy gunner.
Yep.
And from what I understand, like the first look, they use her martial arts skills to full effect there with her kicking butt.
Okay.
Which is awesome. And we got to look at Carl Weathers as Grief Karga, who is basically the leader of the bounty hunter organization.
Yeah.
It's great to see Carl Weathers back. I missed him. He haven't been in a whole lot.
No, yeah. I can't remember the last movie he was in.
I don't know.
But yeah,
well,
that's really
cool. He's in the Creed movies a lot in pictures, but
yeah.
Yeah, but it looks amazing. I mean, you look at this and the creative forces behind it, and
Yeah.
the actors that are in it. It
And
just
people who were at Celebration said that they were like super passionate about it. You could tell they were fanboys, and they were just super happy to be involved in Star Wars.
I trust in Jon Favreau. Plus, we know that Lucas himself was up on the set giving advice. And he was trying to say the biggest thing was this needs to feel like Star Wars, right?
Right, yeah.
And it's closer to, it's only, like I said, it's right after Return of the Jedi. So,
sure.
It's a little more to what we're used to. So it's going to feel a lot like Star Wars. I honestly, if I have to be 100% honest with you, I'm a little more excited about Mandalorian than I am Episode 9.
All right.
But, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited for both.
Yeah. I am too. I'm just saying, it's like, if I had to pick one or the other, I'm like, I want to see Mandalorian. We also got our first look at other things, like Jedi Fallen Order, which is the new EA game is coming out.
Right.
Now, it allayed a lot of fears, man. They're saying he's getting it right. It's not a first-person shooter. It's actually a storyline with a character you play.
Right.
There's not going to be any loot boxes or any, in-game purchases or any of that kind of nonsense that they had before. I think this is EA's last attempt at, doing their license right.
Yeah,
I think. I think they got a lot of feedback with the games they've come out so far. Not a whole lot of it positive, so it looks good. The trailer for it looks good.
Well, and the hilarious thing was this panel, they made sure to distance themselves from EA. EA was never mentioned at the panel.
That's true.
So that was an interesting bit there.
Yeah.
The one complaint I heard about this was they had like a teaser trailer for it, no gameplay footage. No description of how you would actually play. Just a general idea of what it was going to be like.
Yeah. There's a Padawan who survives, Order 66, and
it's very. If you've read the book, and now I can't remember the name of the book. The book where Kanan Jarrus and Hera meet. Mm-hmm. I can't remember the name is escaping me right now. It's very much like that. He's this. I mean, Kanan was a pilot, but he was just working odd jobs. This guy's just working a job, and then
gets discovered.
Oh, I got to use my. Yeah. It was interesting, but all right,
it looks good though. We also got a trailer for Clone Wars, the return of Clone Wars.
Yeah,
the finishing off of the Clone Wars series.
Yep. So I think we get 9 episodes or 12.
I think it's 12.
I couldn't remember if it's 3 or 4 arcs.
Yeah.
Of three story
stories.
arcs.
Yeah.
So.
And it looks like, and we got to see the teaser trailer, which is pretty amazing. And it kind of hints at a Maul Ahsoka showdown.
Yeah.
In the
you not even hint. They talked in the panel that they got Ray Park to do motion capture for this animation.
Oh wow!
So
we got actual Darth Maul doing the moves for Darth Maul.
Yep.
Nice.
So it'll be really interesting to see how that plays out. I'm pretty excited to see that one.
Yeah, me too. And finally, we got a confirmation from Kathleen Kennedy that. We all speculated that one of the 2 trilogies they're working on is Knights of the Old Republic trilogy. We finally got confirmation that, yes, they are working on Knights of the Old Republic. Now,
who is doing it?
She wasn't very vague about it. She was saying that, yes, that's one of the projects they're working on. It's DBYs. It's Game of Thrones, guys. That's who they were doing. Ryan Johnson's working on another trilogy, but, I'm pretty sure they're the ones who wanted to do everything. They said it was going to be a different time they're looking at. Mm-hmm. Now they finally said it. Actually, Knights of the Old Republic. The words came out of their mouth. It's going to be canon soon.
All right, cool.
Hopefully they do it right.
Yeah, I am super excited about that.
Yeah.
We learned a little more about Galaxy's Edge too, but we've covered that a lot.
Yeah.
So we'll not.
Yeah, there was I said, there's a ton of stuff over the weekend, but
probably the thing I am most excited from this is next year it's in Anaheim, so it'll be easy to go to.
Oh yeah, look at that.
You don't have to go to Chicago. You can actually just drive to Anaheim, so that'll be awesome.
That's true.
So, all right. Avengers Endgame was relegated to the number 2 spot. So it is getting even bigger as it breaks ticket sales internationally. So tickets went on sale Friday in China and sold $1 million.
Or a million tickets, I think.
A million tickets.
Yeah.
In 6 hours. So that's a record for all movies in China. In the quote here is, this is a record for all movies in the Middle Kingdom. Not even a Chinese New Year title has crossed the 1 million admission level in the same amount of time.
Yeah.
So it could hit 100 million in pre-ticket sales in China. beating the current record holder, which is Infinity War at 65 million,
Yeah.
which now has worldwide opening estimates at 850 million. But yeah, like you said, we're only 150 million away from billion.
$1 billion opening weekend.
Could we sneak that out somehow?
Well,
We've got more shows being shown in a lot of theaters.
Yeah.
Through the night. A lot of the bigger theaters are going to go through the night.
Yeah.
That hasn't happened here in Phoenix, to my knowledge, but
I know there's some late, not all through the night. I know there's ones they're running late and they're starting early.
Starting as late as 11 o'clock, I think, here. Now, they may have been added in the meantime since I've looked. I haven't looked since I got our tickets, but that'd be interesting to see. But
I think a couple of the bigger theaters have
big metropolitan
after midnight
areas.
showings. Yeah,
big metropolitan areas are probably, if they have not already, will probably add after midnight showings, which could throw that total up.
And remember, this is the first day record sales of. So we haven't seen what a week of ticket sales in China look like.
True.
If it follows a trend that it did in the U.S. with ticket sales, I don't know, man. I mean, that's
most shows in the U.S. are sold out.
Yeah.
Well, I should say most evening shows.
Most evening shows.
But I think most opening weekend shows are sold out or very nearly so. It was hard to get tickets.
Yeah. And that's for the whole weekend. I mean, so it's crazy. The opening weekend is going to be crazy on this. Is it safe to say that this is by far probably the most anticipated movie of all time?
Yeah.
I mean, does this beat episode 1 hype?
It's hard to say because it's a different time frame.
Yeah.
It probably does beat that because it is way more accessible to people than it was back then.
People don't have to wait in line for tickets.
You had to be a super fan who would go wait in line for days at a time to get their tickets. That's not something that happens anymore because everybody can get online. But it is that level of, it's got that level of fandom. Those were the people who were there day one, 6 a.m., breaking the system. But then, the general public, jumps in there as well and sells out the first weekend. So, it is bigger in that sense, obviously in total ticket sales.
Right.
Than, well, maybe not in total ticket sales than episode 1. I mean, we've got to factor in inflation and stuff like that. Who knows the number of screens? But it was...
Worldwide, I'd say this is probably the biggest.
Probably, yeah.
I mean, there's not...
the worldwide box office has just grown way more than it was when episode 1 came out.
Yeah.
But episode 1 started with all-night showings, most major metropolitan areas. So it is definitely along that lines. It is up in that area. Now, whether it passes it or not, it's kind of hard to compare apples to oranges there. But
this is a phenomenon. This is huge.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
This is an event that can only be brought about by 10 years of solid storytelling and characterization. And that's the driving people to theaters.
Yeah, characterization's what wins it for Marvel.
Yeah, absolutely. They not always had the best stories or the best villains or anything like that, but the characters. People care about these characters.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. So I was trying to.
Mike's going into depression now.
It is. This is a sad story for me. So it looks like the DC Universe streaming service is in trouble. Now there's all kinds of headlines going around about, they're done. They've already lost the streaming wars. They're not even a year into their service. And it all comes down to a couple of statements and what they've done here. Now, it all comes about they've halted production on the Swamp Thing, which 2 weeks early. 3 episodes and 2 weeks early than what they planned. So they've halted all production. They've canceled everything out, and they have writers coming in to rework the 10th episode to be an ending for the series, for it to make sense.
Okay.
So they've lost 3 episodes. They lost, and they just shut everything down. Boom, like this. Now it came as a surprise to most people. Virginia Madison, one of the actresses, took to Instagram and express her displeasure with the choice, with the post that's been taken down since then. But criticizing them. There's no reason. There was no clear reason why they shut this down. But they did say that they're going to take time and reevaluate the DC Universe streaming service. So they didn't say reevaluate the series. They said reevaluate the DC Universe streaming service. Now,
Interesting.
there's speculations run wild. Like I said, this is not. That's what we know. We know Swamp Thing production got shut down.
Right.
They're trying to, fix it to where they can just get away with the 10 episodes. And funny, right after the story broke, they released the teaser trailer for Swamp Thing,
Nice.
which is just basically Swamp Thing coming up out of the water. But so the series is coming out. They haven't changed the release date; it's still coming out next month. And they've just announced casting of Batman for Titans for next season. Season 2 is filming right now. So
We'll know something's wrong if that stops.
if that stops, we'll know something's wrong. But the fact that they said they stopped and need to reevaluate this, it could be, that maybe they didn't like what they saw with Swamp Thing. It could be
the
that
early numbers were, because a lot of times they'll have focus panels that'll come watch early cuts of these things, and maybe they weren't getting great reactions.
No, if they're adapting by evidence of Doom Patrol, they're not afraid to go in weird directions with their series, or dark directions.
Yeah.
So if they're adapting the Alan Moore Swamp Thing run, it's probably not everybody's cup of tea. When you're looking at a focus group, this is a little weird and a little out there for the general viewing audience.
Well, and that's what. Here's the thing with the DC universe versus the streaming service.
Mm-hmm.
The DC universe, like all of the comics, that already has been paid for.
Yeah.
They've already sunk the money in to make those comics digital, put all the links in, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So there's no reason to get rid of that.
Yeah.
Because you've already spent the money. I mean, unless you just want to flat out write everything off, which I think would be a bad move. They may just at this point be reconsidering, are we going to do original series specifically for the streaming service versus just put our animated movies on there, make it primarily about the comics and the animated movies, and maybe do a special thing once in a while and drop the price.
Right. Now, there's some speculation that because of the AT&T Warner Brothers merger that happened, and we've already announced that they're putting a streaming service out together, right, that they might shut down DC Universe and just roll it into that streaming service like Marvel is with DC, and just have that DC aspect one part of the...
Oh, you mean with Marvel with Disney?
Marvel with Disney, sorry.
Roll it into
that one streaming service because, I mean, the streaming wars are a serious thing. It's getting, like, we had to deal with cable. There's getting too many of them. There's going to be some cut. Obviously, Netflix and, Amazon Prime are kind of way ahead of the game because they already have, their built-in audience. They have the built-in infrastructure.
Yeah.
Disney's coming from behind, but they got a lot of money and a lot of content they can sink into it.
Yeah.
As where DC Universe is more of a niche kind of market here.
That is very true.
So they, and these things are not cheap to produce. If you've seen Titans or Doom Patrol, you know the kind of quality of what they're doing. These are effects heavy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, DC is owned by Warner Brothers. Mm-hmm. Warner Brothers has a ton of other content. Why didn't you do a Warner Brothers streaming service?
Well, now they're doing an AT&T Warner Brothers combined service.
AT&T doesn't
have anything.
Content
That's true, but they bring the money. So, and the infrastructure. So
maybe they'll switch directions like that and roll the DC universe into a larger.
I'm just no matter what, this is bad news for me. I'm a big Swamp Thing fan. I'm getting into the DC universe. Whether it means the Swamp Thing series is bad or the whole thing is going down a drain, I don't know. But either way, it's a bad sign for for me. But yeah, that was the depressing story for the day. Well, kind of. There's more. Go ahead with the next story.
Yeah, I was going to say, all right. All right. Production on the acclaimed Boom Studios Mouse Guard move was shut down 2 weeks before shooting.
Yeah.
The movie had lined up lots of talent like Idris Elba and Andy Serkis, and honestly, I have no idea what that is.
The Mouse Guard?
Yeah.
It's basically it's just
like an animated.
Yeah, it was going to be like a motion capture animated mice with like a bunch of Reaper Cheap, imagine. Only a whole group of them.
Interesting.
It's an acclaimed comic book, so.
Got it. All right.
From Boom Studios.
I have no idea. All right, so one suggestion is that Disney didn't want competing motion capture animal films. That could be one reason they're getting rid of it. The creators are being allowed to shop the project around, and Netflix is interested. All right, so they're letting them out of it.
Yeah, they're letting them out of it. The great thing, this is the big purge from Disney. Is, we're seeing now they took over Fox. This was a Fox project that was greenlit before the merger, and now it's it got cut. Like they're already 2 weeks before filming.
Oh, all right.
And it got cut.
Yeah.
Like it came in and said, all right, stop it. But they're letting them shop it around. So they're letting them have the project and letting them, so we'll see. Yeah, hopefully we'll see it somewhere. I mean, Netflix I think would be a good place for it.
We also found out all non-canon Marvel stuff. So the Fox's Marvel mutant stuff is all being canceled. Legion, Gifted, all of that's going to be canceled.
Yeah.
Presumably to free all of that up to potentially be in something.
Yeah. Pretty much any Marvel shows that are going forward are going to be canon Marvel shows, and they'll be on Disney Plus or in a movie.
Yeah, they'll either be MCU or MCU affiliated.
And I think after S.H.I.E.L.D. ends next year with ABC, I don't think ABC is going to see more.
That's interesting because that's owned by Disney, so who knows what
Ron Perlmutter runs the ABC though.
Yeah, that's true.
So they're going to keep everything Marvel under Kevin Feige.
Yeah.
So
it's a good move.
Yeah.
I would love if they would just port this show over.
Yeah.
I haven't watched it in a while, but I love all of the cast.
Yeah.
I think they're all pretty good. For what they're in.
Yeah, it was a good series. I mean, it had its ups and downs, but I like the series. So, but I mean, I think it's kind of run its course. I think let's keep S.H.I.E.L.D. in the background at this point.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, folks, that does it for our major stories. Sorry if we bummed you out with any of the news. Anything you were expecting,
It bummed my account.
It did bum me out, especially the Swamp Thing thing. All right, but a lot of great news from Star Wars Celebration and Avengers, just the juggernaut that it is.
Yeah.
So now we're on to our smaller stories, our nerd nuggets, our geek bites. First one is not so small. Game of Thrones season 8. Was it 8? Yeah, 8. Premiered last week to record numbers, 17.4 million.
Wow.
Now, 74.4 million individual viewers. So there could have been multiple groups of people viewing it at one time.
Oh yeah. That's
so
always the case.
And I'm going to put this in a little bit more perspective for you. So it's just how many people watch Game of Thrones. So 70.4 million individual on multi-platforms watched the show who paid money for it. 54 million times it was pirated in the first 24 hours. So
that's hilarious. All right.
That's a lot of people watching the same show. That is a lot of fans.
Nice.
So
well,
yeah.
People were asking me about that at work, and I'm like, nope, I'll wait until it's all done.
Oh, that's all. You're gonna wait till. Yeah.
Well, I don't have HBO. I'm not gonna pirate it.
No.
And
I got HBO now.
I threw the books away after 5, I think. The one before the last one he's put out.
Yeah, that's a good place to throw it away.
I can't. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't do it anymore.
Well, when's the winter supposed to be coming out?
Yeah. All right.
All right.
The first what if story we found out will be what if Peggy Carter became Captain America? That is a pretty cool.
When should be Captain Britain? I mean,
it's true enough.
Oh, well.
Yep.
But yeah, the great thing about this is they're going to have actually Skinny Steve supporting her
That's
in a support role.
Awesome.
Yeah,
that'd be great.
That's pretty awesome.
He'll be Bucky.
Yeah, he'll be her Bucky. Yeah, that is a great. I mean, I like the What If series.
Yeah,
I can't wait for this. It's one of the many series I'm looking forward to. All right, Spider-Man: Far From Home gets an early release date. It gets bumped up to July 2nd.
Nice.
So we're releasing
2 months early. No, 3 months early.
Well, it's not early. It's only a week early, but because it was coming out after 4th of July weekend.
Oh, I thought
now it's before 4th of July.
It wasn't sticking with its October time slot.
No,
wasn't the last one.
No, it was July.
Yeah,
I don't know what Doug's thinking.
I don't know. There's so many Marvel movies that come out each year that it's like, pick a month.
Yeah.
There's probably one that came out that month. All right. We got Spider-Man. James Gunn's Suicide Squad looking to cast John Cena. That's interesting.
This movie's getting weirder and weirder.
This reboot will apparently still have Viola Davis as Amanda Waller. That's awesome. Jai Courtney as Boomerang. I thought he did a decent job as Boomerang. So
this is his best role.
And Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn. So, all right, cool. Idris Elba is in the movie, but not as Deadshot. And Dave Bautista. Sweet. Yeah. All right.
So we've been hearing all kinds of. This is another concept I think of Warner Brothers not knowing what they want to do with the DC universe, right?
Yeah.
First, it's a complete reboot. No one's coming back.
Yeah.
They're going to recast Deadshot with Idris Elba. They decided to go against that. They still cast Idris Elba but not as Deadshot.
Gonna be?
And if there's a complete reboot with new characters, Margot Robbie, Viola Davis, and Jai Courtney are coming back reprising their roles. So
Yeah. So I mean, you could everybody else be somebody who hasn't been on the team yet.
yeah,
Because in the comics, it always had a
yeah.
rotating roster
yep.
of people who were on the team. So
And no word of who Idris Elba and Batista are playing. So I'm betting Batista would probably be something like, King Shark is one of the guys, isn't he?
maybe.
Okay, I'm dressed up as a big shark.
Hope not.
I hope not.
Yeah.
I hope that's CG.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Make him the bad guy.
All right. So, and now to round out, we're going to go off with some box office news. Not all the box office, but the two superheroes. We had two competing superhero movies come out last week. Shazam stayed in the number one spot with another $25 million, giving it a solid run. Right.
Yeah.
So I think it's made like $600 million, something like that, for just under $100 million for a superhero movie.
Right.
So it's done really well. It's already got greenlit the second movie. So
Yeah.
it's a good movie. Then a not so good movie. Hellboy was a massive bomb. Not just a failure. It was a massive failure. It brought in $12 million on its $150 million plus budget or whatever it was.
So that's its opening weekend number.
That's its opening weekend numbers.
Oh my gosh.
And it's not going to get any better than that. That's $12 million. And looking forward, Shazam's also expected to take the third week in a row as number one spot over the Easter weekend with $16 million weekend there.
Wow.
Hellboy, I haven't seen it, so I can't judge for myself.
It's a niche comic.
Yeah.
So unless you saw the movies before, there's a 99% chance you never even heard of Hellboy. Probably bigger than 99%.
Yeah.
For the general public, they have no idea who this guy is. This is an old, 80s and 90s comic. Was it around?
90s is big, yeah.
Yeah.
It was Dark Horse.
Yeah. So it hasn't even been a thing in a long time. And they didn't play up this as a special effects fest. They tried to give him character in the previews, so everybody's gonna be like, "What? I don't get it. What's the point here?
Yeah.
What's going on?"
Why does that look different?
They didn't really.
If they knew him from Ron Perlman, Hellboy.
Yeah, and they didn't explain the organization he works with. There was really just not enough information for people who were not aware of the product before to have any idea what they were getting into.
Yeah.
So.
Of course, you look at the first Hellboy numbers, and all that can be said for the first Hellboy, right?
Yeah, well, we were closer to the source material at
I guess
time.
true, yeah.
And there were way fewer superhero movies or those type of movies.
That's true. If you're going to go see a red superhero that weekend, people want to go see Shazam, apparently.
Yep.
But, yeah, it's just sad. It's kind of a waste because...
and those were darker times. People were into darker movies. That's when...
It's true.
Blade was pretty fresh. The... what was that Vampires versus Werewolf series?
Was it Underdark? No, it was something...
I forget. Whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was a lot of those darker kind of contents. People were into that more.
I don't know. Because it's one of the ones I wanted to see and I hadn't got a chance to, and now I'm like, do I want to pay for this now or just wait for it?
Be on some streaming service.
Probably going to wait for it to be on a streaming service. All right, guys. That does it for your weekly news. If there's any comments down below, anything stories we missed that happened, anything on the Star Wars Celebration that we missed.
Yeah.
Do you think
there was a lot? So.
Yeah, there was quite a bit. Yeah. Do you think Avengers is going to break $1 billion opening week?
Billion?
$1
billion.
billion.
$1
Yeah.
billion.
Lots. There's some 10 superhero movies in the $1 billion club, in the $1 billion club, but none of them made it there week one.
No.
So there you have it, folks. Let us know what you thought. Please like, subscribe, share with your friends. Ring the little bell if you want to get notifications for this. I know apparently our analytics has been all over the place with people getting it, not getting it.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
Who knows? If you like gaming and gaming content, please check out our other channel, The Grizzled War Master, with a link down below. So if you want to support the channel and the things that we do here, Doug, how can you do that?
We got 3 links in our description down below. One for our Teespring store, one for our Amazon affiliate link. If you do your Amazon shopping through that link, we'll get a small kickback. Doesn't cost you anything extra, or you can support us on Patreon for ongoing contributions.
Yep, absolutely. All right, guys, we'll see you next week with some more nerd news. Bye.
Thanks.